Hello and welcome to today's video as we cover the games that took place today across the 6 regions. We had finals before first stand go down in what was 4 of these 6 regions. So LCS once again, stats actually Leaguepedia won the race for giving the stats I have for Cloud9 Lion. Um, I usually use Game of Legend for more in-depth stats when we look at gold lead by minute, solo kills, 2v2 kills, a timeline, etc. They do a very good job at gol.gg when they get the stuff out. Yesterday, somebody informed me, and I believe they are part of one of the stat websites when it comes to League, that Grid sometimes drags their feet on putting out the stats. Now, Grid quoted me, I believe it was 4 figures per split last year if I wanted access to stats in real time. So if people are paying that much for a service that fucking can't get the job done, I mean, there should be something out there where somebody should be taking accountability when they can't do their fucking job. But never really happens. So now that my bitching's out of the way. LCP first. I thought this would be a 5-game banger. Thought Team Secret Whales would take it in 5 games. They smoked DCG 3-0. It was the most lopsided series of the day. 92-8 in gold control when we take into account Drake's. 92% of the minutes were in favor of Team Secret Whales. And that is not like this series, this 75-25 G2KC series is scuffed. But that is not scuffed. They crushed them. Pun had a solo kill going 7-2-21. Dyer had 3 solo kills of his own. 26% of the team's damage. Goes to show that everybody was dealing damage in this win. 76 KP. DCG Hongsu 8, 14, and 13. 27% of damage. 84 kill participation. He tried his hardest. Couldn't get the job done. Secret Whales took 8 of 13 Drakes, all 3 Barons, only 3,000 gold of power play, but it did not matter because they were so far ahead that it was easy peasy. Extra solo kills, his toe had 2. Eddie had 2 solo or 2v2 kills. And Chelsea had a bullshit solo kill at the end of the game when they were taking the Nexus. But technically it goes down as a solo kill. LPL IG get their revenge against NiP. Just a couple weeks ago, they did lose to NiP 3-1, which was a surprise at the time. Saburo seems to be getting better as they're giving him carry-oriented champions at top lane. He is improving, which is a rookie. Rookies are going to do that. He was holding back the team, in my opinion, so this is good for him. Rookie 16, 7, and 43. 86 kill participation for the longtime mid laner, one of the GOATs of his role. Bodic, 30% kill participation. No, 30% damage share. Kill participation would have sucked. Saburo had a solo kill of his own. NiP, 6, 7, 25. What the fuck? NiP. Care, 6, 7, 25. Asum had a solo kill. 2 solo or 2v2 kills, 29% of the team's damage. Joao, 73 kill participation. Drakes were closer, IG taking 13 of 21. Barons, however, 6-2. So IG really struggled with their power plays in this one, averaging less than 2,000 gold a power play. When NiP had theirs, they averaged 3,365 gold across 2. So they were much more efficient. Hoya had a solo kill of his own. LCK, no surprise here. Gen.g beat BFX. Based on Twitter, you would have thought this was very, very lopsided, and it was. But it was 74-26 in terms of gold control. BFX did have a lead. I want to say it was game 3 for more than half. But in the end, they weren't able to take that lead and turn it into anything. It never was significant enough to really put Gen.g away. Chovy went deathless. He had a solo kill, 11-0-24. Keen led the team in damage, 26%. Ruler, 77 KP. Raptor had a solo kill, went 6, 7, and 6. Team leading 26% of damage, which is not... It's not very good when your jungler leads in damage. And you can say, oh, it's a carry-oriented meta. I'm going to be hard-pressed to find many times. I'm sure it happened a handful. but we've had a lot of games take place this season already where the jungler led a team in damage and they won. Usually that's not a recipe for success. A secondary carry maybe, but primary carry, no. 80 kill participation. Diable had a solo or 2v2 kill. Drake's 10-3 for Gen G. They took 3 Barons, getting 5,300 gold to power play. And like I said, 74% of the time they were ahead. Loud and Red. So this was a weird one. Red actually were in control for 51% of this series. They could not close out their games. And because they couldn't close out their games, they lost 3-0. This was not a clean win by Loud by any means. It was not. It was very dirty 3-0. So there is that. Redbird had a solo kill or 2v2 kill. 2-6-45, 86, 87 KP. Bull, 30% of damage, and also had a solo or 2v2 kill as well. The bot lane duos really got after it in this one. There's a little animosity there we could see after the series. Redbird go over to Frosty in regards to what occurred during the week, and that is something I like. I like that bit of personality being shown. I enjoy that the players may not like each other all that much sometimes. It's good for rivalries. It's good for competitiveness. And dare I say it, a tinge of toxicity is not always a bad thing. It's not always a bad thing, in my opinion. So, not to say what happened was toxic, but it's not necessarily a bad thing to have a rivalry occur. Players maybe not like each other all that much, because then it makes it more interesting to watch. And, fans start getting into it with each other, and as long as things don't get physical, we're okay. Red, Curse, 1 solo kill, 10, 10, and 20, 81 KP. F&B had a solo kill, 25% of damage. Zeno and Young J, Kaze all had solo kills. Frosty actually had 2 solo or 2v2 kills for Red. Drakes were 7-7. Now, the difference was Red couldn't get a fucking Baron. Loud took all 5 Barons, and they only averaged 2,400 gold, but that was fine. As long as they didn't give them up, they were able to close the games out, found a way, get the job done. But that's exactly it. Red did not. They were ahead for 59% of this series. When you go minute by minute, you take the gold lead, and also you consider the buffs that a Drake gives you, and you place a gold a number on those buffs, because we know if you buy this item, this gives you this much attack speed. Well, this Drake is going to give you this much attack speed, and we can figure out the worth of a Drake. And Red actually were ahead for 59%. So that is a thing. Just Loud were the better team when it got to the mid to late game, and they won. G2KC. This was back and forth. You thought after 2 games that G2 were going to take this one. It did not happen. Game 5 was a complete banger of a game. Very competitive. It's a good thing it was competitive. G2 needed a reality check, and this was it after really just kind of going through the motions all split long. Skuman, 26, 9, and 32, had a solo kill, 71 KP. Hansama, 27% of the team's damage. Kalist had a solo or 2v2 kill, 16, 10, 18, 29% of damage. Yahoo, 74 KP. Drakes, KC actually took 14 of 27 Drakes. That includes Elders. Barons, however, G2 took 7 to KC's 1. Now, the Baron power plays, when we take into account all 8 of them as a whole, which is not fair because game 5, G2 had like 4 Barons, the teams did not do well with their power plays. G2 averaged about 1655 and KC 450. Now, when a game goes 50 minutes and there's not much left to take, the gold numbers will, of course, be a little skewed, a little scuffed. G2, when we take into account every minute of this series, they were ahead for 75% of the time. Caps had 2 solo kills. Lebrav had a solo or 2v2 kill. Kana had 3, and Yike had 1. Just to clean that up. Now, to acknowledge when my stats can get scuffed, because I try and be as transparent as I can. When a team is ahead for literally, I want to say the game actually is 47 minutes, and G2 are ahead for all 47 minutes, that will make a gold control stat pretty scuffed. That was a sloppy mid to late game, and it was good that KC gave them that, because G2 had to figure out a way, which is important. But G2 are not beating anybody from the LCK or LPL playing this way. I don't think you're beating FearX that way. I really don't. But G2 played very well to get ahead. Even in their losses, they were ahead for a large portion of them. KC actually in game 2 put up quite a fight against G2, but when G2 closed it out, it was kind of like, this feels like it could be a 3-0, and it wasn't. KC came back. You got to give them credit. They found a way, and then they actually brought back to a real silver scrapes, a reverse sweep angle. I really don't like when we play the song when it's just a random run-of-the-mill game 5. And when it's a reverse sweep, it's like, oh, this is actually a big deal. There's a chance here. And KC had opportunities to win and just couldn't do it. And the comp wasn't that great, but the wave clear was wonderful, obviously, with Sivir. They were able to really drag that one out. But G2 kind of, the push and pull, the way they had to end that game, I mean, it took a while to figure out this is how we're going to have to do it, and no, they did. It was quite a game. It really was. And then we end up with Lion and Cloud9. So Lion win 3-1. Cloud9 took game 1. Lion would win the next 3. Berserker, oh no, that could be wrong. That might be wrong. Berserker, 25, 6, and 18, 33% of the team's damage. Inspired, 71 kill participation. APA, 12, 12, 15, 79 KP. Sven, 30% of the team's damage. So Cloud9 actually took the majority of the Drakes, 11 of 20, but Lion took the Barons, 4-1. In the end, Barons will play a bigger role, because when you can average a 5,000 gold power play, like I just said, Drakes are only going to give you so much value. So if you're trading a Drake for a Baron, that's going to feel real bad unless it's the Soul. It's going to feel bad. It really is. Trading Soul Point for Baron, if you don't have a clean penalty kill, could feel pretty bad. So Lion played that out well. Inspired, obviously very strong, winning another LCS tournament. Understanding that now there are more tournaments than there were in the past, I do believe we should put an asterisk next to things and go wins divided by opportunities, but that would probably be too much work for some people to consider, but I do think that's something to do, because G2 are just racking up titles right now, and it just kind of feels weird in the LEC even. When we look at the 2-tier system versus the 2 split system versus the 3, it's just more opportunities to win championships, and championships don't quite hold as much value, in my opinion, when there are 3 of them versus 2. So that's it for the video. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, like it, subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, become a YouTube supporter, and hope to see you again tomorrow.